are live. Episode 16, Get the Facts with Folan. Guys, another fun one coming up for you today. I got a buddy who is filling in for another friend, but luckily from the same country. We'll hear from the other one soon. He's had some crazy complications in India. And so, all right, Akshay's joined. Let's bring him in, Seth the Sloth. And let's get this episode started. Let's see, waiting for him to connect. Guys, we are taking you virtually to India. There he is. What's up, man? How's it going?
Hi, what's up? How are you?
Good, good, good. All right, introduce yourself and where are you right now?
Yeah.
And how did we meet? The floor is yours.
So I'm Akshay and I'm in India. I'm in Delhi right now, Delhi NCR. So I've been here for like 3 years, but I've been like in Bombay for like most of my life. So I know both the places pretty well. And other than that, I met Brent back in Singapore last month. I met him by couch surfing. I was looking for something to do on one of the evenings, and I found him on like the events group for couch surfing, and he invited me for a trivia night, and that's how we ended up meeting. And then we just hung out the entire trip, I think. So as much as
It was so
most of my
well,
trip was just with him.
yeah, we both had a whole month in Singapore. You were in for business, and it worked out
Yeah.
nicely. We hung out a ton. And guys, I'll tell you what, if you ever need a ringer for trivia, you're looking at him. Bring this guy with you. If he happens to be in your country, your city, and you find him on Couchsurfing, this is the man for trivia. He saved us very, very good.
It was good
And just
fun.
on the music, I was super impressed. The tough, typically
The
a
geography was
tough,
an issue though.
you
And
nail
like for
it.
geography, I would say it's back to Brent on that because I
Yeah.
think so. If I tried to do the map thing, I would have just knowing like they said Southeast Asian countries, I would have still just put Russia because like I didn't know anything in that round.
Yes.
That
Well,
was a
all
bad
right, man.
one.
Let's dive in. What's it like in India? Like in the news, it's been interesting following
Yeah,
India's total shutdown for most of the country.
yeah.
What in your perspective, what's going on specifically in Delhi? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Um, yeah. So right now the situation, there is a total shutdown. So like there's a complete like 21-day lockdown. So if like I'll see outside my window, like there are no cars at all, or like just
Wow.
one or two that's just there. And but luckily the provision stores and the grocery stores are still open. So that's a plus. So there's no shortage of that
That's,
like in US. So that's a good thing. So it's still
yeah.
but the supply of it is still lower. So for example, I need to go at like particular times to get milk from the grocery, so I just can't go whenever it suits me.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
again, that's like one side of the story because like public transportation shut down and like everything's off right now. So that's pretty difficult. But offices are also like on the lock. And the thing with NCR is because it's like there's Delhi in the center and has like three major cities right next to it. So
Yeah.
I stay in Gurgaon. So that's like a city that is right next to Delhi. Like you literally like can't even figure out what the difference is,
Yeah.
but they're still different states. So I can't cross from one state to the other state at all right now. Because if I have to cross, I have to show them a medical report. I have to show them if I have to go to a doctor, prescription, I have to show them. If the police stops me, I need to show them all documentation that I need to be out and this is the reason why. So
Wow.
that's really strict right now. And
Wow.
like
That is
I know
crazy. What? No,
one
go
of my
ahead. Go
friends
ahead.
was moving actually, and like his family stays in Delhi, and he was in Gurgaon. He actually had to walk across the border. Like it was like a 20-minute walk, but he had to walk and cross it because there they had lesser checks compared to people in cars. So that was messed up.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy. And so,
yeah,
what day is it? How long have you guys been shut? Is it, you're pushing a week now, right? How many days has it been
yeah.
in India?
So I think so officially, I think officially we had like a evening close down last Sunday,
Yeah,
but then this week I think so Monday or Tuesday we announced that it's a complete lockdown. Like last
official.
week, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah,
Okay. So
for the
then
21 days. Total April 14th are locked down on.
that is what, guys. So if you've ever traveled to India, it is probably one of the most extreme countries. I mean, it's just what it's extreme just because there's so many people, and like
Yeah.
the photos I've been seeing, it's just like New York City in the sense that just people are everywhere, and there's nothing. And so like, we briefly talked on this. You said people like they shut down the trains, they shut down the buses, cars are not running, the streets are empty. How are people? I mean, a lot of people come into the cities
Yeah.
to work. How are they getting back to their villages?
Oh yeah, so that's at least like that's a fun thing, and that's a major problem that we are facing right now in the country, is that a lot of the migrant laborers are actually like walking across. So there have been cases of people walking across like 100+ kilometers to go back to their villages. So
Gee.
that's like really messed up. And even when they're doing that, like as soon as they enter a different state, they are being like washed down in groups with chemicals and all that to ensure that they're disinfected and stuff. So it's like
You know,
it's
I
really messed
saw
up.
I about an hour ago. I was reading some of
Yeah,
the Business Insider, and they showed photos of literally hosing
yeah.
people down
Yeah,
with sanitary water, just chemicals to clean them. That's
yeah,
that's insane. That's
yeah.
absolutely
It's
insane.
really messed up right now.
So they're like these villages. Do they still have food? I mean that's another one of my buddies in India. He was saying he's more concerned about people starving than he
Yeah,
is with the actual virus. I
that's
mean, what?
true. Most of the people when they're traveling across, like the kids or like the really old people are like either like dying out of hunger because that's like a major problem for them. But some of the states are coming up with like initiatives in order to like lower these cases down. So I think so in Mumbai now
Yeah,
they have said that they're telling the migrant workers not to go back, and they're reducing the minimum cost of food from like a meal from 10 to like 5 rupees, which is like what 5 upon 80 for a dollar. So it's like really cheap. They're trying to make it. The
right.
government is trying to make it as cheap as possible. But yeah, it's not a foolproof method, and like these things are still happening, and it's no one knows what to do about it. To be honest.
Yeah, yeah. That's just that's a whole
Yeah.
nother aspect. I mean, like Mumbai, even Delhi, I saw that those cities truly have the extremes, and I'll never forget it in
True.
Mumbai. And like I've got another buddy. We'll talk about Mumbai as well
Yeah.
because he was recently in a hospital. But I mean, you'll have some of the richest people in the world and some of the poorest people in the world living right next to each other. And man, what a crazy time! I mean, just that's like next level. Like a
Yep.
lot of the Western countries. Uh, there's not too many homeless people. They're running into the problem with it in New York, but the slums. I mean, that's what's. It'd be interesting to. I mean, you can't go right because of the lockdown, but how are these slums managing? I mean, hopefully everyone truly has enough food to survive
I
this
think
shutdown.
I think the key word in that is like hopefully, because many of them, like when you tell them there's a lockdown, many of them are just like, oh, the biggest probability like for those guys is like we won't have like money to earn because like they may not be working. And the
Right.
second thing is like, oh, we may just like not have food and might just starve to death. So that's like a big worry for a major chunk of the population in like major cities who either are not going back or are just stuck wherever they are. So
That is wild.
that
What a
really
what a
sucks.
what a crazy scenario.
Yeah.
Uh, Man.
That is different
You
from
know,
all the other
what's
countries right now. Like, and also like they're not test like at least for like Italy and Spain, even though the death rates are like really high, which is really sad. But I think most of the countries are not facing such problems that India is facing because that's totally like a different playing field
yeah.
for us over here. So it's really and it's you really don't know what's going to happen about it because there's not like really strict action that's taken place or like no like the government not come up with a direct statement at least of what's going to happen, so it's like a
Yeah.
big question mark on what could
Interesting.
happen or what will happen to like these people. So we are trying to like have like donation stuff and all that, but again like if people will do that willingly, or it's not necessarily that it's not like a fixed action that's again being done by a bigger group or a bigger organization.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just for me, it really puts it in perspective, right? Like here we are, a lot of U.S. citizens were complaining that we're sitting in our homes, we do have food in front of us. I mean, it's just like, okay, we've got it so easy versus some of these people who literally can't get
Yeah,
home, have to walk, 20, 30, 40, 50 miles, over 100 kilometers
yeah,
just to get back to their homes. I mean, it's just,
yeah,
I don't know, it puts in perspective just how lucky many of us are, even in this horrible situation
true.
that there are people that have it much worse than us.
Like I
So
stopped complaining about being at home because I realized like after seeing all this I was like thank God that I'm like I have this privilege, but like just trying to figure out what we all can do at our end to like help
yeah,
out over here.
no, definitely. Okay, have you
Yep.
have you have you visited a grocery store yet? Have you done some shopping since the shutdown?
Oh yeah, so luckily my the where I stay there's a grocery store right in the building itself. So I
Okay,
did go there to like buy stuff, but yeah, like what the supplies that they have has gone down and there's like just essentials.
what specifically is flying off the shelves in India?
Milk.
Milk, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay. Yeah,
Indians love drinking tea.
yeah.
Like back in my family as well, like everyone loves drinking tea. So you have like two times you have to go back, you have to go down to the grocery store to get milk, which is either in the mornings
Yeah.
or like at 6:30, particularly in the evening, to get
Uh-huh.
milk. So only
Interesting. So
these two times, otherwise you come a little later and the milk's gone.
they cannot produce enough
Yeah,
milk. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's the first country that is having a milk
milk.
shortage out of the 16 that we've
Yeah,
talked to.
it's our version of toilet paper.
Well, okay. Well, let's tell the viewers why it's not toilet paper because I learned this rule
Because
very quickly when I came to India. Even though I've been
because we are
traveling
lucky that we don't use paper to clean our butt when we go poop. And we are saying to use water to do that.
what's the saying? Eat with your right, wipe with your left is what I was told. So you just right, your left hand is used for the toilet, which
So
is
if you're a left-handed person, like, and I'm sorry that life is just sad for you then.
that is the
Then you have to
one
live with that
country
problem.
you don't want to be a lefty. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh man. All right, so
yeah.
let's dive into travel because India
Yep.
is so big and there's so much to see. It is a tough question, but if you had to pick your top three must-see places, you can either choose specifically in Delhi or India as a whole.
So I thought about this one and I was like lost because I have no way to answer this question because it's so big.
Right.
I think one of the places I would go in terms of a city would be Goa, or like as a state would be Goa because it's just amazing. I literally just came back from there before like in end of Feb. I'd gone there with friends, and it's the most relaxing place I think so you can go to because it has everything in it.
Yeah.
It has best cheap alcohol, it has good meat, and it has like good beaches if you can find the right ones. So
Right,
I
right.
think that's one place I would for sure go to if if I hadn't gone there before the shutdown, I'd have gone there again
Yeah, yeah,
now.
yeah.
So
And
that's
just so
one thing.
that's southwest
Yeah, it's on
part
the
of India.
southwest. It's
It
just
is
below Maharashtra.
very, very Rastafarian, super chill vibes, really nice
Yep.
beaches. I that was my last stop in India, and it's
Oh,
neat.
good.
And you will still find the cricket. You will see cows on the beaches, which was pretty neat to see. But no, Goa, it was a little bit more western than the rest of the
Yeah.
country. I mean,
It has a lot more tourist population who comes in over there or like settles in compared to like everywhere else. So, but I think so their major stuff is like just tourism. So that's why,
yeah.
but it's worth
All
it.
right. So Goa's one. All right. What are
That's
the
number one. So number two, just being close to Bombay, I would say go to Bombay and just do a walking tour of the south of Bombay. That's the older part, and I think that itself is one of the if that's something I'd recommend for sure because Bombay being so big and being as bright and lovely and amazing as a city, but the south is what original Bombay was, and that's where you'll see architecture from across time. You'll see like all the British architecture. The roads are much cleaner, and it's really pretty to go for that walk. And then you can have lunch in really good cafes, and then like just walk around over there. So that's something I would surely recommend in Bombay.
Yeah, that city as well. And so
Yeah.
that was my when I started traveling, December 1st, 2016. I
Wow.
started in Mumbai,
Is
in
that the
Bombay.
number one country in your list?
Say again.
Is that the number one country out of your
That was the
100
first.
countries?
That was the first one I went to. India, Mumbai was stop number one, and what an
Nice.
extreme city. And well, like we will do a special episode just on the city
Yeah, you should.
coming up soon. But like I tell you what, the traffic there, like I said, city of extremes. That is the worst traffic in the world. Manila is a close second, but Mumbai is just
Reality,
insane.
it's Bombay. It's
Dude, three
Mumbai. It's in
days,
reality,
3 days
that's
to
the
learn
worst.
how to properly cross the road. It was that is an extreme sport in
True.
Mumbai. All right,
I think
so
that's an Olympic game in itself for you.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You should
Oh
take
man,
selfies. Whoever does that, like, gets a selfie with you because that's it.
yeah. I need to start. I would almost say take selfies as you cross the road in Mumbai, but you would most likely
No, you
be able
can.
because you cannot do that. That's impressive you did.
Yeah.
You don't even
If you
try.
can do that, then you get the gold for sure. If you can manage to do
Yeah,
that, the
yeah.
gold is yours then.
All right. So what's number three?
Yep. Number three, I would say back in Delhi. If you really like food and you really like eating meat, I would say going to the old Delhi bit, which is all the Chandni Chowk area, which has a lot of food places.
Yeah.
It has good like authentic good meats, and it has like kebabs. It has street food. it has a mix of everything. So that's that place, I would say. If you like food and you like history and you like being claustrophobic in like little lanes with wires hanging like 2 feet above you,
Yeah.
that's the place I would say.
Yeah, and such good street food. I mean, across the country,
Yeah,
but Delhi specifically. My couch
it's
surfing was
good.
there. Really treated me to a
Oh, you
good
went
day.
there, right? I think so. Must have gone there.
Yes, yes, yes. It was quite cold in December. That was the coldest part
Oh
of
yeah,
India.
December's bad over here. It's
It
it's
was
like I
freezing.
have to put a jacket on.
Yeah, yeah. But I would
Yeah,
say so. Honorable mention, in my opinion, would be
yeah,
Agra because of the Taj Mahal. Guys, one of
true.
the wonders of the world. I mean, I think it's number three on my list of
Yeah,
favorites of the seven. It is stunning, and you truly feel like you're walking through a picture. I mean, the
it's
Taj
it's it's
Mahal,
really pretty.
it's next level. It's just it's
Yeah,
there's a reason why it's a wonder of the world, right?
yeah.
But
I
again,
would say
guys.
add to that being Pondicherry. If you haven't been there and if you want to go there, that's really cool. It's literally like a French colony. It's
Uh-huh.
still there. It's near Chennai, and it's
Uh-huh.
again isolated and it's really good again. That's a good place I
Yeah.
would recommend.
Yeah, well, I need to come back because India is
You
one of
have
the best places to find tigers in the wild
you
as
missed
well. So
you missed
Nepal,
it.
it set the spark, but I'm ready to make to find
The
even
bigger
more.
jump.
So yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
someone just commented Jaipur is still another
Oh,
great city. Like guys, seriously, there's
it's
so
so
much
many
to
places.
in India. There's really so much. So
Yeah. I was
you really
supposed to go to Jaipur in April and it got cancelled because of like the virus. I was supposed to go for a friend's wedding, friend's
oh
sister's
no,
wedding, and it
yeah,
got
yeah.
cancelled because of the virus and stuff. So
Oh shoot. Well, hopefully
that
they
was
can
something I was supposed to do.
reschedule because the Indian weddings
It has
are
to be big, so they have to like reschedule it. They can't do it
yeah.
now. They
Okay,
can't do a
good, good.
small one.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yep.
let's dive into food.
Yep.
If you could only eat one specific food from India? Uh-oh. There you go. If you had to pick one dish specifically from India, what would you choose?
I'm going to be authentic over and just say the butter chicken. It's
Yes.
something I'm craving for like right now. Like I tried making it at home with family, but wasn't even like as good as it goes outside. So that's
Yeah,
something I have to go out and eat. Like I'm just waiting for this to get over and like that's the first meal I've planned. It's
absolutely.
it's so
Now,
good. It's not
how about
spicy.
yeah.
It's not spicy for anyone, and it's like medium spicy. It's good chicken and it's like flavorful and
Oh, it's so
it
nice.
brings an emotion in everyone who likes chicken over here.
It's I mean, it's some good
It's
stuff.
life
It
changing.
rivals orange chicken. Any Panda Express fans out there, like butter chicken is so good. What about
Yeah.
okay? Because a lot of in India, there's a lot of vegetarians. Do you have any
Yeah.
specific veg dishes? If there was one veg dish that you had to pick,
So in veg, I would really go for street food because I think so
yeah,
that's again amazingly good and spicy. I don't enjoy that
uh-huh.
spicy, but a lot of people do. But I think so the added flavor is the unhygienic food that they serve you in that. And like it's really good. I think street food is something I have to go for. Like have like a pani puri or something like that. That
Yeah,
is, I love that.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
good. That's
guys.
yum.
I mean, one other thing when you travel India, like bring Imodium. You are almost guaranteed. Rarely will travelers get through India without getting sick, especially if you're eating street food. Like you might get the deli belly is one of the sayings. Like there are
It's
you have
bad.
a high probability of getting sick, but it's worth it. Still eat the street food. You'll cleanse in
You need
24
to
hours.
have you. There's a reason why our stomachs don't get weak so easily. Or like we don't have like stomach issues.
Yeah.
It's probably because of like all the crap I've eaten till now.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, someone just asked, "What's the best
The
curry
best
dish?"
curry
Do you have
dish.
a specific
Okay,
curry?
so butter chicken is technically type of a gravy with a curry,
Yep.
but if you really want a good authentic curry, I would say that's something that's more from like a beef. I think a lamb vindaloo, as someone mentioned about. I think you only mentioned that's a really good curry dish. Other
Okay.
than that, I think so good curry would be what? I haven't had that much curry, surprisingly. Now think about it. Uh, oh, interesting. Makes me also wonder now what the best curry is.
Well, yeah, you're the pro, not me. Oh, someone just said
Um,
there really isn't one best curry. That's a great answer.
yeah,
All of them are
that's
good.
true.
Each of them have different flavors
So you
depending on
can
your.
turn any gravy into a curry because it's just you add more water to it, so you can have like a good chicken curry as well if you like
Yeah,
chicken or whatever. So just works. I think there's a standard. There's a way you make one Indian dish, and you can add potatoes to that. So that's a potato dish. You add like paneer to that. That's a cheese dish. You can add anything that and then turns into like whatever dish you want. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's a secret that we use.
That's it. That's a good secret to know.
That's a
Absolutely.
secret.
I need to learn how to master cooking Indian food at home.
I'll teach you that.
Yeah. We next time we meet up.
I learned that when I was in the lockdown, so I can teach you that for sure.
Yeah, perfect. The time is now.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you can eat?
Uh, so crazy for everyone else, I think so would be pani puri. I'm not
Okay.
sure. That's
It's,
something which
what is specifically what is that?
so it's a fried dough ball, like a hollow dough ball,
Yeah.
where you put in like watery mint slash green chili water,
Okay.
and you add tamarind. So you add a tamarind mix to that, and you fill that with potatoes or chickpeas, and you have it in one bite, and it's
Oh, that's a
fabulous.
small
You
street
had
food.
that.
Yes, I had that. Yes, yes, yes.
It's a
Maybe
very
I
one
like
particular street food, which is like very different from other places because everyone else is like, oh, it's you can have it like over time, but this is you have to have that one bite. And if you make it on your own, it's not fun. Like we tried making it at home that day. You have to
yeah.
make your own thing to eat, and it's not that much fun compared to someone else who makes it for you.
Right, right,
And
right.
then
They don't,
feeds it to
yeah,
you and and you're
doesn't
like
matter
you still not
what
finish the first one, and it's like still the next one served.
exactly. Yeah, as long as like if someone's making the food for you, it's so much better. Especially those street vendors in India, they have it down. You
Yeah.
cannot recreate what they've mastered.
Not,
You know.
I'm saying
Uh,
the added taste is the unhygienicness to that,
yeah.
and that's what brings that flavor to it.
All right.
That's a
So
trick I'm telling you.
they don't serve that in a bottle. You just
You
that
can't
just
get that in a
happens.
bowl.
You
Yeah,
can't get that at a store. So
true.
yeah, that's the extra flavor and love that
Yeah,
they add in.
that's the beauty of it, as some
Yeah.
people would put it.
So all right, let's dive into stereotypes. What
Yeah.
stereotypes come to mind when that you've heard of, both
Oh,
that are true and false?
so I think so. One I've heard when traveling abroad is like from a majority of people is why my English is so good.
Uh huh.
And everyone just assumes that Indians don't have that good in English because technically official language is English. So all the forms that we get it in like the regional language plus in English. So every Indian would know some broken levels of English or would know English, and like I think in English as well. So that's one stereotype that I've heard when I've traveled, that hey, how come your English is so good and you can talk fluently? And I'm like, because I learned that since I was a kid. So
And
probably
that
that's it, nothing else.
well, that's what surprised me is traveling through the
Yeah.
country. There were always, no matter where you are, people are going to come
Yeah.
up to you and they want to speak English and they want to practice their. Even if they
Yeah.
speak a little bit, they're gonna any Westerner that
True.
comes into the country, they're gonna come talk to you. And so,
Yeah.
like when it comes to couch surfing scenes, India was one of the best couch surfing countries on the planet, and like I was spoiled because I thought every other country was going to be like this. So no, no,
Your
no,
heart
no.
was
I
broken after
first
that.
time, right? First time ever couch surfing. I made my, I had 6 cities I was going to in India, made them all
Yeah.
public. And no joke, every city I had over 15 host, offers, and I couldn't believe it. And so like when I got to Europe, I was like,
It's
wow,
so
this is
normal.
over there. That does not happen, right? You're gonna have to message like 50 people to find a host. But India,
Yeah.
because everyone is just so hungry to
True.
practice their English and to learn about Western life, and
Yeah.
so it's truly amazing. And once you have one person come up to you and ask you for the selfie, that's when the line begins. So you will have to say no at some point, or else you will
That's a
out
goal.
taking selfies. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Any
One person has to break that mold for you, and then everyone will just flock in.
seriously, well, yeah. I mean, just like
Yeah.
dominoes. Once one goes, boom, everyone's coming in for that selfie. You'll feel like if you ever want to feel super important, say yes to one selfie in any city in India,
If
and
you're
you
white.
will truly have fans.
If you're
You'll
white.
if you're what? True.
If
If
you're
you're
white.
what?
No one's ever told me to take a selfie with me on the streets, and like I'm just like, what? That's supposed to happen.
Like, please, someone, come on, come on, come
No,
on.
someone should do this. I
Oh
can
man.
also speak English.
Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. So
But
what other
yeah.
any other stereotypes come to mind? I think that's a very good one
Uh,
about the English.
I think so. Anything else? Indians about us. I think this is the biggest one which I found out at least when traveling. Then that I think so. Indians are a little more apprehensive to do stuff initially, like just to
Mhm.
go talk to people, like make that first conversation.
Yep.
But once they get talking, or once that barrier is broke, I think so then it's much easier for them to converse. So, in case any of you see a shy Indian while you're traveling, I would say open just make the first conversation, and then you can have a good time conversing or like hanging out with them.
That is a great, yeah,
That
great
that's
advice.
that's a trip. That's a
And
trick or
guys,
trip of dealing with
you'll have a
Indians.
you'll have a best friend for life. No, I mean, all my friends. No, seriously, all my friends from India. Everyone, they're such loyal friends. Like they are people that I know. No joke, I can count on. If
Yeah,
you know, if you message them, they're gonna respond. And like, I
true.
mean it. I really will come back to India someday. Like there's
You
so
have
much
to.
that there's so like I still want to revisit every city I've been to,
Yeah.
but still there's so many places of the country that I haven't touched. So
You have to
I
do that.
another
It's a must.
a good few more months in India to try to see a fraction of it. All right, what about let's dive it. So what is your personally? What's your favorite thing about India?
Oh, my favorite thing about India. So recently, a lot has been challenged about what my favorite thing was about the country with like everything going on. But I would say one thing which always surprises me is to a level which is solidarity of Indians to a certain extent is how we can like band together on things. Either like whatever, like good things, bad things, but we can band together. Like if we have some, like if we believe in a cause, we can really
Yep,
band together on that. And that's why seeing this happening for the first time, for example, with COVID-19, people are a lot more coming together about it in solidarity to do things good, so mostly good. And again, when you raise issues and more people get to know about it, I think
yep,
people do band up for good stuff together as well. So I think it's a good change that's happening where people are now banding together for good things. But
definitely.
it's a thing where like we can come together whenever
I tell
there's a
you,
need of yeah.
yeah, but also the world. I think this is like now more than ever is everyone
True.
truly connected, right? We all have a
Yeah.
common enemy that we're trying to fight against, and
Yeah.
it's like again, I think I mentioned this yesterday on the episode. Like, I'm very disappointed that the Olympics were postponed for a year.
Yeah.
I understand why, but I tell you what, like having the world, have a stage to come and celebrate together,
True.
hopefully beating this virus. It's going
I
to be
think I
true.
think next year for Olympics will be so much it'll be so much grander because
It's
it's
going to
it's
be
like it's not just survival of like each individual like country, but it's humanity banding together to celebrate our victory over like a disease like Corona and like doing so like celebrating everyone who's like for everyone will be really good.
yeah,
And I hope
yeah.
hopefully I want to try to come to Olympics next year just because it's
And
been
then
delayed
yeah,
and and
there.
and,
That
and want to take a selfie with the selfie king.
let's do it. Make it happen. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, one more question for you.
Yes.
What's one fact about India that would surprise people?
Surprise people. I thought it'd be weddings, but everyone knows Indian weddings are amazing. Or the one fact that would surprise people is if you're walking on the street, Indians don't break into song and dance at every moment. As much as movies have shown otherwise, we don't. We sometimes do. Sometimes there would be a moment I would see people sing and dancing, but not all the time.
Not everyone. Oh man, yeah.
Not
So if
everyone, but
if you've seen Slumdog Millionaire, that does not happen. The dancing is
sometimes.
so, yeah,
Sometimes.
if you're lucky, and if you're really lucky when you're in India,
Yeah.
and you might be asked to be in a Bollywood film. I
You
have
should
had a
go for
couple
it.
friends who've asked to be in one. Like I'll save my Bollywood story for my the other episode of India when Sagar
You
goes
have
on.
to go in one.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yep.
And yeah. I can't say that I saw people broke out in dancing,
You
but
didn't see
I,
that, right?
I will say what you do see more of is people playing cricket. I am a huge
Oh,
baseball fan, and within 24 hours of being in, not even within being an hour of India, straight from the airport, I was playing cricket with some kids in the street every
oh,
day
that's
for
good.
18 straight days. I was playing cricket. So you guys,
I think you
I
play
mean,
cricket more than me recently. I'm
oh
pretty
man,
sure on that.
I loved it. Every day, that was my goal to meet new
Yeah,
locals. And guys,
and
even
play
if you don't
cricket.
know how to play, they'll teach you how to do it. It's a wild
Yeah,
sport, very different from baseball. Some similarities, but yeah.
sure
Let,
enough.
let, let's talk about one more thing that's going to surprise people because not
Yeah.
everyone knows about Indian weddings. How
Oh,
long do Indian weddings usually last?
so the last one which I went to was my cousin's, and we told like the person conducting the wedding to make it short. and that still went on for 2.5 hours. And that's just the actual ceremony. There's like
Yeah.
the event before the reception. The reception was before because the wedding start and like the wedding started odd hours. Like this one started like 1 in the morning, and like we had the reception earlier. So it's wedding. Indian weddings have a very off timings to them depending on like astrology and stuff. But if you can attend one and you're in the country and you want to attend one, and if you get a chance, you should so go for it. It's an
Yeah.
experience that you have to see.
If you spend a month in India, you have a very good chance of getting invited to the.
Depends. If you come in December to
Yeah.
if you come between November to Feb, I think that's the key wedding season. There was a
Okay.
day in India there were happening more than 100 weddings in a city.
Wow.
Yeah.
That so you would have very high chance. Okay.
Yeah. You find one wedding to go, or you can gate crash one, and you're
Yeah,
white, so
yeah,
they'll just let you
exactly.
in.
And I've heard some weddings they can last 5 days, right? 3 days, 5 days. I
Yeah.
mean, there's some
So
Indian
the
weddings.
entire like this one went for a week. So the wedding
Yeah.
I went to was actually for the entire week, with the final ceremony just being on like for like at the last day, but the entire thing was like a 5 day procession.
That
So
is wild.
if you get a chance, just totally go for it. Like
I
it's worth it.
you'd be interested. So in the United States, there's a big trend, right? You hire a photographer and a videographer.
Yeah.
So you get footage. I mean, that would be a very long movie. 5 days worth of
We have
footage.
that. And it's really good because now these guys use drones and stuff to shoot, so you get like
Oh,
all the various angles of
next
everything. So
level.
it's
Yeah.
gone beyond from
Five
using bad
days.
Photoshop. Because I have seen bad Photoshop in like videos for weddings to now
Oh,
like literally like movie production quality like wedding videos. So
as they
like
should.
one of my
I think
best friends sister works for a wedding company, and you should see like the stuff they do. It's like I was like, what? People
you know.
spend money like that on weddings, and I was like mind blown. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a business over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Business all over the
It's
world.
an
I'd say
industry over here, I would say.
place to make some money, especially
Yep.
when they last 5 to 7 days. Man, I tell you what, I can't thank you enough for taking the
Yeah.
time. I know business can be busy. Um, your final words. The stage is yours. The whole world is going to
Uh,
watch the series eventually. What would you like to say?
uh, I'll say, guys, number one, stay at home. I think you should wash your hands or use a sanitizer because that's important, and sing happy birthday when you're doing that. Also, I would just say like it's just important just to see your privilege at this time because I realized that a lot for these couple of days. And also, if you can help out anyone you know who may need any support, just help them out as any way you can. And your love to all the emergency workers because they are like putting a fabulous job out there, like fighting on everyone else's behalf. So
Absolutely.
those are the guys like I would like say thanks to the most. If any one
Yeah,
of you is a metal worker, then like thanks a lot because couldn't do it without you guys.
amen to that. Nah, second it to all
Yep.
that. Man, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the
Yep.
time. It's great
Thank
to
you
see
so
you.
much.
Looking forward to
Thanks.
having another reunion soon. So, guys,
Yep.
that's it for India. What an amazing country! We'll do. It is such a big country. We're going to do at least one more episode to focus on other regions. But upcoming episodes. So in roughly 12 hours, just under 12 hours, 7 p.m. Central Time, we'll be going to Costa Rica. One of my good friends there. She's an expat. She's studying. She's originally from China, now studying in Costa Rica. So, going to be interesting to see how another country in Central America is handling the COVID virus. And then also in 24 hours from now, we'll be headed to Paris, France, another country that is on lockdown just let's dive in back to Europe and see what else is going on. Man, take care. Thanks again so much. And
Yep.
guys, you watching back home, make sure to stay
Bye.
at home, stay inside, wash your hands, and together we can get through this. Let's get
Yep.
back to normal. Actually, take care, man, and
Bye.
hopefully see you sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Bye.
We'll do a quiz again. Yeah, for sure.